The Profit Point, in association with Dangote.
All right, welcome back, everybody. The Dow Group is one of Sudan's largest private companies, and it's active in 9 separate industries, including healthcare, energy, and mining. But it actually started as an agriculture company, and then it took off when the business was passed off from father to son. I want you to listen to the story.
Assalamu alaikum. Usama Dawood Abdul Latif, chairman of Dow Group Sudan. We have no investments outside Sudan. And this is a commitment I made from the beginning, that we will invest in our own country. The company started as a British company called Sayer & Colley. The only big business they had was the dealership for Caterpillar equipment. My father was a civil servant who spent most of his life working for the government. He was given early retirement and looking for opportunities to make a living. He approached the owners of Sayer & Colley, who initially refused, and then eventually, through a friend of his, he managed to convince Caterpillar, and they created a new company called Sudanese Tractor Company. They became the dealer for Caterpillar in Sudan. Sayer & Colley continued with the small engineering things. The British side was nationalized, the Sudanese side was confiscated. And this lasted only for 1 year. And when they gave back the company, my father refused to buy the British share. And then in '79, I managed to convince my father and the government to buy the British shares, which we did. And I actually took full charge in 1980 because my father became sick. So I was, as they say, thrown in at the deep end and had to learn how to swim very quickly. So from there, it has been a long journey. We established Dow Agricultural Services, and the idea was that instead of them owning machines and so on, we provided the service they wanted, which was land preparation, canal clearing, and it became very successful. But we struggled with getting paid, so we adapted that to actually taking crop from the farmers directly. So we started importing flour, and that is what took us to industry and to milling. We decided instead of importing flour, we will import wheat and millet here. And that's when we started in food industry. We started the first mill with 300 tons per day. Then we added capacity very quickly. We reached the point where we were milling 1.5 million tons per year out of about 2 million at that time. Now it's about 3 million. I think 2006 was our most successful year. We exceeded $1 billion. When I took over, the company had 120 employees. We now have over 8,000. What we are doing is what is called an agro-industry model, where we integrate agriculture and industry, food industry. We actually export quite a bit. We supply our factories with some of the ingredients that we need. And we think that's the model. Pure agriculture, just exporting raw crops is okay, but it's not as good as, an agro-industry model where you're actually adding a lot of value.
And the chairman actually changed the name of the company to Dow in 1978. It's actually an abbreviation for his father's name, which is Dawood Abdul Latif. All right, that does it for us here on Marketplace Africa. Remember, you can always see our past stories on our website and, of course, keep up with us on Facebook. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Zain Asher. I'll see you next time in the marketplace.
The Profit Point, in association with Dangote.